Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyati. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shanti. Filled with Brahman are the things we see. Filled with Brahman are the things we see not. From out of Brahman floweth all that is. From Brahman all, yet still it is the same. Om, peace, peace, peace be told. This morning our subject is Tell Us the Upanishads, Part 6. Today we are studying Isha Upanishad. Today we shall try to study the last 4 verses. It is a very small Upanishad consisting 18 verses. This Upanishad is called Vajashaniya Samhita. It is a part of the White Yajurveda. First I shall tell you in summary the whole Upanishad. The first mantra tells us to see God in everything, in every being. This whole moving and unmoving universe is saturated by God consciousness, Brahman. Enjoy through renunciation, non-attachment. Do not covet for other things. Second verse says that if you cannot practice that highest truth, work according to the injunction of the scriptures. Nitya naimitya karma, daily obligatory duties and other works. Thus try to live in this world 100 years. The third mantra says, look, if you forget the Atman, it seems that you are committing suicide. You do not know yourself. That is akin to death. In 4th and 5th verses, they describe that what is the Atman. And the 6th and 7th verses tell us that if I realize the Atman, what shall I achieve? Those 2 verses are very beautiful. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmannevānupashyati sarvabhuteshu cha atmanam tato na vijugupshate yastu sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanata tatra ko muhakha shoka ekattamānupashyata. When you see this Atman, Brahman in everything, in every being, you cannot hate anybody, you cannot hide anything. And moreover, you will be free from delusion and grief, moha and shoka. That is the result of the knowledge of the Atman. And in verse 8, the Upanishad tells us the real nature of the Atman. Ajaro, Amaro, Amrito, Abhayo, birthless, deathless, immortal, all these things about the nature of the Atman. From 9 to 11, it tells us karma and upasana. Some people do only the Vedic sacrifice, rituals. Another people do only upasana, prayer. The Upanishad tells us combine both. Then we will get a good result. Then in 12 and 14 verses also, they talk about Prakriti and Hiranyagarbha. Do not worship separately. combine them both. That means active life and contemplative life must go together. Then you will get a better result. And 15 to 18, prayer for death. Prayer for death. Prepare yourself for death. We shall talk about it. After the long journey of life, we understand how this life is impermanent, temporary, transient. We shall talk about it. In the Upanishads, we find various mantras connecting death and immortality. We pray, Mritturma Amritam Gamaya. Take us from death to immortality. We repeat the Mrityunjay mantra. Trimbakai jajamaye sugandim pushtivardhanam urvarukabha mrityurmukshiyamamritat. O blissful Lord, I worship you. O giver of prosperity to all, may I be free from the bonds of death like a ripe fruit dropping from the tree. May I never again forget my immortal nature. This is from Yajurveda. Tameva vidito oti mrityumeti. Only knowing the Atman, Brahman, you can transcend death. There is no other way. There is no other way. Mrityu samrityum apnoti jaiha nanaiva pashyati. That person experiences death after death, death after death. The person who sees variety, multiplicity, diversity in this world. These are the beautiful verses we study from the Upanishads. The Vedanta tradition tells us, Shatayurvai Purushaha. Human beings live for 100 years. And 100 years. Pushyema Sharada Shatam, Jivima Sharada Shatam, Nandama Sharada Shatam, Mudama Sharada Shatam. These are the beautiful prayers we find in the Yajurveda. Beautiful mantras, very poetic. May we live 100 autumn, Sharad. May we enjoy our life 100 autumns. May our senses wax and clear for 100 autumns. Very poetic, extremely poetic. May we never be overcome by weakness. Truly speaking, this world is not our real home. When I walk in the Laguna Beach, there is a hotel called Vacation Village. When I see that place, I see the sign, and I think about this world. This world is a vacation village. We are here very temporarily. Holiday Inn. But this world is the karma bhumi, which is the field of action. If we want to change your life, this is the place. Not in heaven, not in nether world. They are all bhoga bhumi. There you will reap the result of your actions. But this world, karma bhumi. Man is the architect of his own fate. We can make ourselves divine, human. We can make yourself like a demon. It is all karma. Karma for me. We came this world alone, we shall go alone. Naked came I from the mother's womb, naked shall I return thither. Husband, wife, father, mother, brother, sister, nobody will go with us. Money, property, home, car, nothing will go with us. What will go with us? Jagabhalka mentioned in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Vidya, karma, purva, prajna. These three things will go with us. Vidya, knowledge, wisdom, which we have gathered in this life, they will go with us. Karma, good and bad, whatever we have done, they will go with us. Purva prajna, in previous life samskaras, they will go with us. You see, sometimes people complain about their past karma. Some people brood, some people ruminate. I sometimes tell them, let bygone be bygone. Don't think about the past. Your present is built by the past, and your future will be built by the present. That is the gospel truth. I met a woman, Elizabeth Copeland, in 1972. She drove me from Boston to Thousand Island Park. Her grandfather was the host of Swami Vivekananda. So in the family there was a birthday party. So Swamiji wrote in their birthday book, Vallabhaisi tat kurjat jena mutro sukhi bhavet. Do such thing in your childhood so that you will be happy in your later life. This is a beautiful message. We will have to build our life, our character, so that we will be happy in future. I sometimes say, earn money, save money, so that in old age you will not have to worry about financial problems. Same thing about spirituality. When you are physically strong, mentally strong, gather spirituality. So that when you will be in old age, in nursing home or in the hospital, you know body will go, but your mind will dwell in bliss. That Sri Ramakrishna taught that. Dukkha jane ar shorir jane man tumi anande thako. Let the body and suffering take care of themselves, so my mind, you dwell in bliss. How to do it? How can we disconnect ourselves from the body and experience as the Atman? That is called a spiritual life. Preparation for death. We prepare for lives. We go to school, we go to college, we go to university, we go to medical school, we go to law school, business school. Why? We want to earn money. And thinking that money will make us happy. We must have a profession. There is nothing wrong about it. How much work we do to be a doctor or an engineer? Study, tremendous effort. That is preparation for life. But who prepares for death? Ask people. Do you prepare yourself for death? Even in old age, they have so much attachment. They're like octopus. I remember I saw octopus when I went to see a movie, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The Jules Verne and Captain Nemo. Jules Verne's that scientific fiction, Captain Nemo and the Nautilus, how that octopus was grabbing. Some people, so much attached, like an octopus, they hold money, property, everything, friends and family. I saw a real octopus in San Francisco aquarium. Do you know what happens at the time? If you have a very earthbound soul, you have tremendous attachment. In this other side, the god of death is pulling, other side, the attachment is pulling. So at that time, you are in a tug of war. That we see some people. They have not prepared themselves for death. Time is coming. Everybody will die. When I think about preparation for death, I think about Parikshit in the Bhagavatam. He was the grandson of Arjuna. He was cursed because of his misdeed, wrong action. A sage cursed that within 7 days, the person who humiliated my father, that is Swami Rishi, will be killed by the snake bite. The story goes, the sage was meditating and the king went for hunting and king asked for water, but he did not respond. So the king found a dead snake. He took the bow and put the dead snake around the neck of the sage. And when his son came, and the king left. When the son came and found his father was humiliated in that way, he put a curse. That person who humiliated my father will be killed by snake bite within 7 days. The father was very sad. He sent the message to Parikshit, be careful. Parikshit knew death is coming. My death is inevitable. So he asked all the sages to come to him and talk about God. They built a fort in Hardwar, and he went to the fort to protect himself. And he says, is there anybody who can talk to me 7 days, 7 nights, non-stop about God? There is only one person in India. His name was Shukadeva, son of Vyasa. He recited the Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. And when the Takshaka, that snake, bit him, it bit the body, but his king's mind merged into God. That is called preparation for death. When death comes, prepare yourself so that you can merge with God. We see Swamiji also. He prepared himself for death. I remember once Nivedita came and asked some questions. Swamiji said, don't ask, my mind is not there. I am preparing myself for death. If you read Swamiji's letter, 18th April 1900 from Alameda, Swamiji wrote to Miss Josephine MacLeod how he prepared himself for death. All right, now we can start our subject. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tattvam pushana vabrinu satya dharmaya drishyaye pushanne karshe yama surja ekam prajapatya buhurasmin samote jayate rupam kalyanutamam tatte pashyami. This is the verse 15 and 16. By the liege of the golden orb is the face of truth hidden. Please remove it, O thou nourisher of the world, so that I may see thee, I who am devoted to truth. O nourisher, O lonely traveller of the heavens, O regulator, O sun, thou offspring of Prajapati, remove thy rays, gathered up thy effulgence, so that I may see that which is thy most auspicious effulgence, the person that is in thee, that am I. When we get up from our sleep early in the morning, what do we see? We see the sun. We see the sunlight. With the help of that light, we see this whole universe. So the rishi, the sage, is addressing the sun, the visible God. But we know, Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati, the Brahman, the pure consciousness, who is behind the light of the sun, moon, lightning, stars, fire. That Brahman is the light of the light. So we see the visible, manifested. Behind that is the unmanifest. So the sage is wants to see the reality, the truth. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we find another beautiful expression. Satyasya Satyam, the truth of the truth. Do you know what is the truth of the truth? This world is true. My stomachache is true. My headache is true. The chair, table, this building, sanctuaries, US, the whole universe, they are true. But not absolutely true. Relatively true. Absolute truth is Brahman. Why? What is the difference? This is the changing truth. This truth is changing because of Maya, through space, time and causation. The moment you enter the Maya, it changes, constantly changes. But absolute Brahman does not change. It remains in the past, present and future. It always remains the same. Satya. Yatha bhuta prabhadastu satyam ahur munishina. When we speak the truth, that is called truth. Ishvatyena lokan jayati satyam tat param padam. Through the truth we conquer the world. We read in the Munjaka Upanishad, Satyameva jayati naniritam. In Indian currency you will find it is written, Satyameva jayati. Only truth alone triumphs, not untruth. That truth is covered by the rays of the sun. In the ancient Vedic seers, they saw the sun. When we are initiated into Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhur Bhuvasva Tasvitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om. Om, this world, the higher world and the highest world, the sun, the adorable one, on the glory of that luminous one we meditate. May you endow us with pure intelligence. We meditate on that person, that effulgent one who is the creator, preserver, destroyer of the universe. May he guide us to the path of blessedness. That is the Gayatri Mantra. Look, this Gayatri, Shobita, the sun, when in the morning it rises, the sun rises, at that time it is Brahma with his Shakti Brahmani, the creator, early in the morning. Sun, Brahma, Brahmani. Brahma, the creator, and his Shakti is behind the sun. At noon, Vishnu, Vaishnavi, preserver of this universe. In the evening, Rudra, Rudrani, Shiva and his Shakti, the destruction. Creation, preservation, destruction. All the Vedic seers saw in this sun, Shobita. You know, a sun in many places in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, worship as a symbol of Brahman. We do not see Brahman, but you see the manifestation. The manifestation. The Brahman is the light of light. We do not see the Supreme One, but we see his manifestation, the sun. Very interesting, you know, about the sun. Could you imagine that without sun, what will happen to this world? Destruction. I shall read a passage Swami Ranganathanandaji quoted from the Smithsonian Institution's National Geographic magazine. The sun is the great mother. All life on earth might be considered as transient materialization of the exhaustless floods of radiance which she pours on the planet's surface. This enables green plants to synthesize sugars and starches from water in the soil and from carbohydrate gas in the atmosphere, thus making possible all other forms of life on earth by producing the essential foods. We eat sunshine in sugar, bread, and meat, burned sunshine of millions of years ago in coal and oil. We wear sunshine in wool and clothes. Sunshine makes the wind and the rain, the summers and winters of years and of ages, inextricably interwoven are the threads of life and light. You know how important we eat sun. Without sun, we cannot survive in this world. That is the reason the Upanishad gives that word Pushan. That is a very beautiful poetic word. O nourisher. O nourisher. So we worship. We remember when we worship the rituals, Om Java Kusham Shankasam Kashyapayam Mahadutim Tantaring Sarva Papaganam Panoto Usmi Divakaram. Divakar means sun. That in the very beginning of the worship, in the rituals, we have to repeat this mantra. First I bow down to the sun god. Very interesting. Extremely interesting. Now that Hiranmayena Patrena Saityasya Mihita Mukham, that sun is covered with a light, dazzling light. We cannot look at the sun for a long time. Our eyes will be dazzled. I met a person in Calcutta. He used to watch the sun like this. Oof, like this. One commentator says, as a golden disc, sonar thala, a plate of gold he put in his face so that you cannot see me. You see the dazzling gold that sun is doing to all of us. You cannot see my true nature. You see my light. Do you know what does it mean? It means, I remember when I visited Meenakshi temple in South India. At the entrance, you will see beautiful apsaras, beautiful maidens, beautiful girls with costume. It's dazzling. Why should I am going to see the mother Meenakshi, why should I have to see these beautiful girls in the entrance? My guide explained to me, those who enter the temple, see those beautiful girls and mesmerized by their beauty, they cannot see the mother. You will not have to look at them. Just go straight and see the mother. Those are the temptations. Those are the tests that whether really you want mother or you want the world and enjoyment. You know, the Hindu temples are built in various ways. If you know the meaning, true meaning of those ancient sculptures. Satya Hiranmayena Sonatha. The golden plate for enjoyment. That is, Swarna, if you see the golden plate, that means you have a desire for enjoyment. If you say luminous form, that means you are from a Jnani. But when you go more inside, that is the penetration. If you genuine love, that is the outlook of a devotee. But this intense desire to know God does not come without by His grace. Yame Vaisha Brinuti Tena Labhya. Whom Atman chooses, only that person can realize the Atman. God's grace. The first mantra of the Abhidhuta Gita, Ishvaro Anugrahat Pungsham Advaita Vasana. Advaita Vasana, the desire for non-dual Brahman, comes Ishvara Anugrahat, by the grace of Ishvara. That is the first verse of the Abhidhuta Gita. When you have that bhakti, what do you do? I am not satisfied with the appearance. I am not interested in the golden orb. I know there is a truth hidden behind that golden orb. There is the true sun, the cosmic spiritual person. That we want to see. Why? Satya Dharma. I have love for truth. I have passion for truth. That is the reason I want to see behind the light, the external light, O sun. I want to see your real nature. I know you are Brahman. Nourisher. I already explained what nourisher is. It is the sunlight, heat, generates food, everything, everything. Look what happened. The sun may rise 3 days, tremendous cold, no energy in Texas. It was a mess. So many people died. Excessive cold. We need heat. Light. You know, some people cannot bear the light. Those who have read the Bible, they know when St. Paul was going to Damascus to persecute the Christians. He was Jewish, very learned. He wanted to persecute the Christians. So on the way to Damascus, he saw the dazzling light and fell from the horse. And he was blinded by that light. Saul, Saul, why do thou persecutest me? Jesus said, why are you persecuting me and my people? That way, St. Paul was transformed. He became a Christian. Light. Sri Ramakrishna lost consciousness, seeing that light of the Divine Mother. I'm just telling you, light, we talk about light. Very few people can understand that light. That is the reason we have to practice spiritual disciplines. That is the reason we must pray, so that God can give us divine sight so that we can see Him. This mortal eye cannot see God. That is the reason he was praying. Samu Teju. Tejo Jate Rupam. Jata Pushana Vabrinu Satya Dharmaya Deshai. Vapabrinu. Remove that light so that I can see you. Buho Roshmin. So withdraw your Roshmi, your rays, so that I can see you. I do not see your light. I do not want to see your power. I do not see your greatness. I want to see your true nature. Kalanatamang Tati Pashyam. That is a beautiful word. In this connection, we must try to understand Upadhi. Upadhi means adjunct, attribute. Attributes. The truth, when it is covered, that covering is called attribute. Brahman is covered by 5 sheaths of the soul. The blissful sheath, intellectual sheath, mental sheath, vital sheath, and physical sheath. These sheaths are Upadhi. Chetanananda is a person. It is Upadhi, Swami, or a minister here. It is all Upadhi. Here is a king with royal dress, and here is a police, his bodyguard, with police dress. So we see this is the king and this is his bodyguard, police guard. Remove their clothes. You see here is the human being, here is the human being. You cannot differentiate who is the king and who is the servant. Uddhav's dress is the Upadhi. President of the United States. That is the Upadhi. That is an attribute. When he is no more a president, he is just an ordinary citizen. Upadhi. Try to understand this Upadhi. We see sometimes movie actors and actresses when they are traveling at the airport with the pulling the suitcase, ordinary dress. They look most ordinary, I tell you frankly. But in the studio, when they are dressed with makeup, with their costume, they look like king, queen, like they are different. That is called attribute. So this man, woman we see in this world, with different names, different vocations, all these things, they are all attributes. We are by nature Brahman, Atman. Very interesting, if you see this whole world from the Vedantic perspective. The seeker therefore seeks to probe into the truth behind the sun and behind himself. He feels that the effulgence of the of the familiar sun is nothing compared to the effulgence of the spiritual reality that lies hidden in its depths. Kalyanatamam tatti pashyami. I want to see your auspicious form. You see, here's a Rudra form. Praviddosmi lokokshayakrit. Krishna showed Arjuna in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita his terrible form, the destructive form. But the devotee is telling, I do not want to see your destructive form. I want to see your that beautiful, loving, sublime, auspicious form. Kalyanatamam tatte pashyami. Then the seeker, the devotee, was telling, you know, don't think I am begging for you as a beggar, because in reality you and me are the same. Juasa baso purushaso ahamasmi. The truth, the Brahman which is within you, O Sun God, the same Brahman is within me. It is just like you are very big, I am a piece of clod, clod of earth. You are cosmic, I am just individual, that's all. Somebody asked, same consciousness we find in a big elephant, same consciousness we find in a little ant. Consciousness is the same, but the manifestation of consciousness, gulf of difference. Sri Ramakrishna, somebody said, Sri Ramakrishna, all men are equal. Somebody said, no, all men are not equal. One man can defeat 100 people. In Atman, in consciousness, they are equal. But physically, other form, all men are not equal. There is a difference of physical strength, difference of mental strength, upbringing, education. That makes the human beings different. All men are not equal. Ajatiti evam kasyidhiru prapaddate rudra jatte dakshinamukam tenamam pahi nityam. I want to see the Dakshinamukha. There is a benign, sublime, beautiful, conscious face we want to see. We pray. Jor karo. That Sri Ramakrishna said. Only ordinary prayer will not work. Force him. Lord, you will have to do it for me. That comes from love. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful illustration. A woman fell in love with a man and they are living together. After some time, the man says, hi, I'm not going to live with you, I shall leave. The woman says, my goodness, I gave up everything, my family, my all connections, and I became devoted to you and gave my life to you, and now you want to leave me? I won't let you go. That woman pulled that man's cloth so that he may not go. I have every right to force you to stay with me because I love you and I gave my life to you. That is called, Sri Ramakrishna gave a very, you must force God that you will have to do it for me. I remember once our Manamohan Mitra came to Dakshineshwar. Seeing him, Sri Ramakrishna hid his feet, withdraw his feet. Manamohan said, sir, You withdraw your feet. I shall bring a big knife and cut your feet and take to home. Sri Ramakrishna says, my goodness, he immediately opened his feet and gave to Manomohan. That is called Dakate Bhakti, robber devotion. Force. We must force God. Facing death in a grand manner. Agnenaya supatara yasman vishwani deva vairani vidvan jujuddasman jura namena bhishtam te namuktim vedema. O vital forces in me are about to merge in the immortal prana, the cosmic energy. The vital forces, the immortal prana, in me are about to merge in the immortal prana, the cosmic energy. Then this mortal body shall be reduced to ashes. O mind, remember your good deeds. Remember, O mind, remember your good deeds. Remember. Death approached. We repeat it twice because to bring intensity of the prayer. You see, our next life depends upon the last thought of this life. At the time of death, whatever you will think, that will go. You see, in Patanjali, in the Yoga Sutra, mentioned, Suti mule tadvipako jati ayu bhoga. Suti mule tadvipako. In this life, the result of action, whatever work you did, that will determine your next life. Jati, where you will be born. Ayu, how long, what will be your longevity, how many years you will live in the next life. Bhoga, happiness and misery that you will encounter in the next life, everything depends upon your karma of this present life. That is the truth. You are the chooser. You are choosing your next life, your karma, everything is from the previous life's actions. Very beautiful verse. Vayu means this my individual, Vayu means prana Vayu, this life. Or Anil means cosmic air. So Vayu means prana. My individual prana is merging with the cosmic prana. And what happens to the body? Bhasmantam shariram. This body will be bhasma, ashes. When we take our devotees or somebody dies to Valhalla mortuary, but we take the body, perhaps 150, 200 pounds body, they will give us an urn of maybe 10 pounds ashes. Plus. So this human body is nothing but ashes. What happens? All human body is made from 5 elements. Space, air, fire, water and earth. Khiti, Ap, Tej, Morud, Bom. Those are the 5 elements. Constitute the whole universe, constitute all human bodies. These human bodies are nothing but food. Annamaya kosha. Annamayam prana. Anna, food, made this body. This body will disintegrate. Where do they go? They go to their respective 5 elements. Maximum human body is water. When they burn the human body, whoosh, 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 all the water evaporates. It is amazing, I am told one young man, you want to be a monk, go to the cremation ground, see the dead bodies, how they are cremated. Then you will get renunciation. Anyhow, you will not have to go to the cremation, but this body is not the permanent. But this body is the temple of God. We must take care of the body. Give good food, good exercise, discipline, so that you may live long and you will not have to go to the hospital. If you do not take care of your car, it will break down. You will have to call AAA. You take care of your health, so that with that diseaseless body you can meditate and think of God. It is extremely important. This body is nothing. Again, this body is something. Do not neglect your body. It is a God's gift that we got this human body with good mind, good health, so that we can change our life. We can realize God in this very life. That's Sri Ramakrishna said. Manav Jivaner Uddesha Ishwar Labh. The goal of human body is to realize God. Otherwise, does the word to dust returnest was not the spoken of the soul. We have to memorize those English poems. Sometimes when we become old, we watch back. What have I done? Last 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. What have I achieved in my life? Just earn some money and have some few children and wife, that's it. What have I achieved for my next life? Sometimes they say, I made a mistake. When I was young, easily I could practice my spiritual life. Shidyate iti sharira. The thing which perishes day by day, that is called body. Sri Ramakrishna told in the parable, a drunkard went to see the divine Durga image, gorgeous, beautiful decoration and all this jewelry, and the Matal was addressing the Mother Durga, Mother, you are here only for 3-4 days, you are in a gorgeous luxury and all those things. Please remember, on the 4th day, they will pull you and put you into the Ganges. They will drown you. Now you are enjoying all this food and worship from your children. Your children will pull you and put you into the Ganges. Immerse the image. That is funny, Thakur said that. It is Gita, we find yam yam vapi sparan mantam tejati kalivaram. Entertaining whatever thought a man leaves his body at the time of death. Having dwelt constantly on that thought, he achieves verily that, O Arjuna. Therefore, at all times, think of me continuously and also fight. If your mind and heart are fixed in me, you will undoubtedly attain me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manushmara juddhacha. Ma manushmara juddhacha. Think of me and fight. That is called human life. Last verse. Agni naya supata rayi asman vishwani deva boyunani vidvan jujuddasma jurana mena puishtam te namouktim videima. Beautiful. O Agni, lead us by the good path that we may enjoy the wealth, the fruits of good deeds we have done. Thou knowest all our deeds. Lord, destroy the deceitful sin in us. We salute Thee with our words again and again. Agnenaya Agni, another symbol of Brahman. Supataraya Aspan, take us to the good path. You see, this person is dying, physically very strong, physically not strong at all, but mind is still active. So he is praying, look, namoktim vedema, physically I cannot bow down to you, but verbally I am praying to you. I bow down to you, Lord. Here we find the Vedantic tradition, this found two paths. Dhuma marga, path of smoke, path of light. Path of God, path of manis. Uttarayan, northern path, and southern path. Northern path means, I think from March to August, the sun goes from the northern horizon, from the east, from the northern horizon. And the other 6 months, it goes to the southern horizon. That is northern path, southern path. If you die in the northern path, that means that is very auspicious. Shukla Krishna also mentioned in the Gita, these two, the white and the dark, are known as the world's eternal paths. One leads to cessation from rebirth, and the other leads to rebirth again. It is very natural that, if you do good karma, you will go to heaven. If you do bad karma, you will go to lower world. But there is another path. There is a pathless path. Jivan mukta. Na punaravartate, yaiva pravilyante. He will never come back. His prana will dissolve here. No more coming and going. Why? Because he has no desire. If you have desire, you will have to come back. No doubt about it. As Holy Mother says, if you have desire to eat a sandesh, you will have to come back. I remember one Swami told me the story of Swami Jagodananda. He was in Almora and he has high blood pressure. So the doctor suggested you better go to the plain, not in the high altitude. It's not good for you. So his attendant says, Maharaj, let us go to Vrindavan. He went to Vrindavan, of course. There he died. Let us go to Vrindavan. It is a holy place. If you die there, it will be nice. The Swami became mad at his attendant. Do you think that I will have to depend on the holy place to die? He was a really knower of Brahman, Jivan Mukta. Holy Mother told you about him. He was a Holy Mother's disciple. I shall never come back. In this very life have they overcome birth, relativity, whose minds are fixed on sameness. For Brahman is free from all evil and is the same in all. Therefore, are they fixed in Brahman. Ihaiva turjito sargo jesam samme stitang mana nirdosham hi param brahma tasmad brahmanite stita. That is from the Gita. They never come back. Prayer works at the time of death. At that time, mind becomes very one-pointed. That is the reason in our Hindu tradition, when a person is about to die, we repeat God's mantra, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna. That we repeat near the ear of the dying person. Some people say Ram Nam Satya Hai. Lord Rama's name is the truth. Because this person at the time of death is weak, so that he can hear. Only the hearing goes last. Always remember, when a person dies, body sensation, eyes, can you recognize me? No. Can you feel me? No. But that person can hear. The hearing goes the last when a person dies. So they repeat mantra near the ear. Vivek Pradeep. At that time, have positive thoughts, good thoughts, holy thoughts at the time of death. Do not think about the worldly things. that, these verses of the Upanishads tells us how to prepare oneself for death. Preparation for life. In the beginning we found in this Upanishad. And at the end, preparation for death. Take the whole thing. That is the complete life. Life and death. Agama, paino, anitta. Happiness, misery, life and death, they come and go. If Swamiji says, if you want to conquer death, if you want to stop death, stop life. If you are born, you will have to die. As Swamiji says, here the pendulum of the clock is swing, tick-tock, tick-tock. Our goal is to stop the pendulum. Happiness, misery, happiness, misery, happiness, misery. Life, death, life, death. Stop it. How to stop it? Only through the knowledge of Brahman. He will merge into Brahman. As a drop of water, jato udakam shuddhi shuddham tadrikiva bhavuti evam munir vijanata evam bhavati gautama. As the water mixes water, becomes water. So this pure consciousness, individual consciousness mixes with consciousness and it becomes one. That is the goal. But very few people want to merge with Brahman. The devotees, they want to preserve their body so that they can serve God. They are all dualistic kind of liberation. But the Vedanta, non-dualistic Vedanta prefers Jivan Mukti. Or some people say, take me to a higher path. That means Shogun Brahman, Brahma Loka, just Christian concept of heaven. There you shall go and enjoy. And if you do not have desire, then you will merge from there. Anyhow, we talked about this Isha Upanishad, 18 mantras, within 6 lectures we completed it and we got some ideas. It is good to study Upanishads. Otherwise all kinds of talks are fine, but Upanishad is real Vedanta. Thank you very much. Om asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mritturma amritam gamaya abhirabhirma yedi rudrajatte dakshinamukam tenamam pahi nityam. Om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through and guide us evermore with the loving presence. Peace, 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 and forth. Anyhow, our March Bulletin Paras you will see in our website. Please give us a few minutes time. We shall go to Zoom